Go for it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you to our sponsor, Liquid Death. We got 4 pre-rolls today, starting with our new sponsor, Liquid Death. It's actually a beverage brand that makes mountain spring water, low-sugar soda, and low-sugar iced teas. It may look like a beer, some crazy energy drink. It's not. Go to liquiddeath.com/JRVP to check out all their healthy, infinitely recyclable beverages and find your closest real retailer. That's liquiddeath.com/JRVP, liquiddeath.com/JRVP. I also want you to start your free online visit today at hims.com/JRVP. Through Hims, you can now get treated for ED without stepping foot outside your door. That's HIMS.com/JRVP for your personalized ED treatment options. Hims.com/JRVP. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. You know who else is back? It's AG1. We've partnered with AG1 for so long because they make such a high quality product that I genuinely look forward to drinking it every day. Anthony brought me in some extra for today because I was running out. If you want to replace your multivitamin and more, start with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first subscription at drinkag1.com/JRVP. That's drinkag1.com/JRVP. Check it out. And then finally, we're going to talk about ASPCA pet health insurance. To explore coverage, visit aspcapetinsurance.com/JRVP. That's aspcapetinsurance.com/JRVP. One more time, aspcapetinsurance.com/JRVP. This is a paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independence American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by PTZ Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and is not engaged in the business of insurance. Now, 4 pre-rolls up, nice and clean. Let's get to the show that's going to include what happens after death, prepping to see an Anthony show, and the worst friend trip to Berlin ever in episode 249 of the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project. JRVP.
Junior Vice President.
I want them back. I want them back.
What do you want back?
I want them back. I went and saw Furiosa noon on Friday. I was pumped. I was fired up to see Furiosa. Aaron, have you seen Furiosa yet?
I have not.
I know Greg has not. Greg, you saw Fury Road, didn't you?
I have not.
You never saw Fury Road. Greg's like the one person that I would believe has not seen it. Fury Road is the perfect movie. The Road Warrior is one of my favorite movies of all time. Fury Road is incredible. Furiosa is great. If you're going in expecting Fury Road, you might be a little disappointed. I enjoyed the movie. I went by myself, and every other person in the theater, this is IMAX, Man's Chinese, noon Friday, was a dude by himself, like sitting every other seat in this theater. But it's great. I thought it was a great movie. I'm not surprised it's not doing better than it is.
I am.
But I mean, it's a prequel, so you kind of know where things are going to end up. And Anna Taylor-Joy says literally 30 words of dialogue in the movie, it's almost fun to watch how miserable she must have been as an actress making the movie. But it is badass. I really enjoyed all the performances. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I hope they make more.
I love her.
It was great.
I love the Queen's Gambit. I was surprised that they didn't do better. That like Challengers, did
fucking
better. Shout out to
Fury
Challengers.
Road didn't do that well, considering how like beloved it is. I mean, everyone who saw it loved it, but it didn't do as well as some of the things. But I thought it was fantastic.
I did start Fury Road on an airplane once. Wrong place to watch it, but I don't know. I guess I just have a lack of attention span with these things. After like 5 or 10 minutes, it's just like, oh, this is kind of silly. What's going on here?
It's not silly at all, Greg. Fury Road is a very important movie.
Yeah. It's the loudest movie I've ever seen.
I can recognize where I have shortcomings. I have blind spots. That's one of them. But what are you gonna do?
I keep hearing about Challengers. People keep recommending it to me. I have not seen it yet, but maybe one day. It seems like a plain movie, Challengers, to be quite honest. But no, Furiosa is cool. I would go see it again. But I urge everyone to go see this movie. Otherwise, I had a show Saturday night in San Diego at a casino. I just drove down with my opener Kelly and just like did the show, drove right back that night, which was great. And this week I'm going to like Quapaw, Oklahoma, to a casino. I got to leave Thursday morning, fly there, do the show Friday, and get back Saturday. But my plane trips are kind of, you know, I see them teetering off. It's a lot of like drives for the next couple months. I've got to fly to Canada for a show in July, and then fly this weekend. But otherwise, I'm driving. And then we just announced, in addition to the Australian tour dates and the European tour dates, we've announced the Asian tour dates. Coming soon, very soon, are the Indian tour dates. I'm going to India. So I can't even tell you what these dates are. Go look on my website. I believe the Asian dates are for sale right now. Greg was talking about maybe trying to go to the Tokyo show. Maybe his wife might try to come.
I will be back for training camp, I assume, by then, but I believe it's August 5th. Come strong, Tokyo. Show Anthony what a great comedy town you are. And Emika is usually there with the kids at that time. So if she has not flown back, I think she would love to go see you there. That would be kind of just a crazy life experience to go see your friend Anthony in Tokyo. Maybe Emmy, who you've met, Emmy Tao, who's a big Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project JRVP listener, will come with her.
Junior Vice President.
There you go.
Thank you, Ryan.
Sorry.
Yeah, it will be cool. I'm looking forward to that more than I am this weekend. When I do casinos, I do not leave the room. I would just be sitting there, and I get in. I don't know why. It must have been to get a direct flight over there. I'm getting in at like 3 o'clock. I leave so early in the morning on Thursday. Get there. I think I have to. It's like an hour drive, hour and a half to the casino, and then I just sit in my room from like 5 p.m. until 6 p.m. the next night when I go down for sound check and do the show. I'm leaving like 1 p.m. the next day. And there's no room service in the hotel, so the security is like, we'll bring Anthony his food, because I truly do not leave a casino when I'm performing.
What about Kelly? You guys have been on the road together. She's basically opened this whole tour for you. Not the whole thing, but more shows than not, I would guess. Don't you want to get a dinner with her or something like that?
Not at a casino. Like if we're not in a casino, then yes, I will, and she can come to my room and I'll have food ordered to us. But I don't go outside. I don't mix with the riffraff when my poster's everywhere. It's just you're never more famous than you are when you're performing in a casino, because your picture's everywhere and people are drunk and they're gambling and they will want to talk to you. So I do not leave my room. I will read. Maybe I'll bring a big thick book and just tear through it this weekend. But yeah, I enjoy the casinos. I enjoyed the show on Saturday night. I had a good time. Kelly's parents came to see her, and that was always nice to run into Kelly's parents. But other than that, I'm just like.
How's your relationship right now, you and Kelly? I mean, I can't remember you having an opener this consistent.
That's not true. I've had many openers
for like an entire.
I had 3 openers last year.
Tour.
I had 3 openers last year. 2 of them put out specials by the end of the year. So the one who did not is Kelly, and I've been taking her on the road. But she's great. But it's very professional. It's like, I'll see you at the show. Enjoy your day. But I'm not like the kind of headliner who makes their opener do everything with them. There are a lot of people who do that. But I'm at the point now where it's not. I was doing shows in LA at like the Improv or the Comedy Store, and now it's like not fun to go up in front of 200 people when I'm used to now 2,000 people. I'm just like, okay, I've got the set down. I know it. I'm doing the sound edit tomorrow. I'll get to watch it one last time before it's locked. And then we'll find out which streaming network it's going to go to. Maybe just regular cable, maybe CBS.
You seem very excited about it, though. You said watching it, you were very happy.
Very happy watching it. I'm excited for people to react to it. And I'm very excited to not have to tour anymore. I will be pumped up for the international leg of all of this. I'll be excited for the show this weekend, but I am very much looking forward to sitting down with a blank piece of paper in front of me and writing the next hour. It's time, and every time I tour, I do it so like I'll be sick of it right around the time I tape it, and then I'll like finish it out internationally, put it out there, and then start the next one. But I'm in that process, but I'm excited to just write.
But you seem a little more relaxed since getting to be at home longer, since announcing that JRVP is taking a break. Mm-hmm. It's not a breakup, listeners.
We never break up.
Never.
We break in.
Anthony and I have been going strong for 26 years.
We don't break up. We break out.
It's a long time, 26 years. We've known each other by now. So we have one more episode. And yeah, I did notice some comments that, you look like a little more relaxed since. So for all the listeners, I guess they're not listening or watching that just got sick of you while you were getting increasingly frustrated. I had one friend that told me that he just couldn't take it anymore. You were getting too frustrated.
I'm surprised more people weren't like, we hate this, we're not listening. I do not know what the numbers are. I do not know if we're doing better now than we were in the beginning. Like, I don't understand. But yeah, knowing I have a break is nice. If I didn't have to do this today, I would have been happier today. I've been running around doing errands and stuff, so it'll be nice to have a break. I'm assuming that I will just miss it and want to come back. Or there's still a chance that I could just be like, you know what? I'm going to let Greg fly on his own now. You know, I'm gonna leave the nest forever, and me and Aaron can just hang out.
He can't. I don't think Anthony can quit us, Aaron. I think we're good. This is the reverse Nadal. Rafael Nadal, like, they tried to retire him at the French Open, where he's won 14 times earlier this week, but he told them, like, don't give me a ceremony, don't do anything. There's, I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind, and he just didn't want to so this is the reverse Nadal. Which is like, I think he has like a 1% chance of coming back. You have like a 99. That's what I say. Although I shouldn't throw that out there because you'll just not do it just to prove me wrong.
We'll see. Everything is on the table. I love my friend Greg. I love my friend Aaron. That's the first time I've told you I loved you, Aaron.
Oh.
And I think, I assume I will be back. But again, never having to do this again would be fine. I like the shoes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Little silvery Asics. You won't be able to see them unless you're on the Patreon. But we do have seaweed beautifully framed this week. Unfortunately, I can no longer look in Aaron's eyes, which bothers me. I liked that last week.
How was your week?
It was good. It was life. Life is happening out there.
It's true.
And
guys, don't forget, life is happening out there. Aaron, that's the title.
You know what? Okay. What happened, which stuck with me, was, and it wouldn't sound like much, and I know you're just a parent of a dog, and that's 2.5 times more difficult than having children, famously. But Ellis had what was like her last swim class at what's the local, just like the town swim center. Like she's taken all the classes. She's at the end. It's over. There's no more things. She could go back there. We could find some other program there or whatever. But she's been doing it since she was 5-6 years old. And, Emeka doesn't drive, so it's always me that's bringing her to it. I'm out there reading a book usually while she does her swim classes. And, when we started going, she's 4 or 5 years old. I'm taking her to an ice cream across the street, like every time she passes that level or whatever as a celebration. And now here we are. She's 12. She's in 6th grade. It was the last time doing that. And, that got me in my feelings. As a parent, you start going through these things where it's like, oh, that's the last time I'm going to do that. Especially she's getting to that point where she is going to get sick of hanging out with me. So that was emotional, I would say. Surprisingly emotional for me, not for her.
I could see it. I could see you like listening to the Shins on your headphones, like weeping while your daughter swims laps. But that's great that is she now like an expert
like that.
swimmer?
It's satisfaction, and I took a picture. I just wanted to like note the day, but I was just feeling wistful. She's a great swimmer. Yeah, she's a good swimmer.
I mean, listen, your daughter is #1 daughter of all time. Like, if you're a parent out there listening to the podcast, your daughter is garbage compared to Ellis. Oh. And I don't know how much of that is like her just being a superstar, or if it's parenting, but your daughter is #1 goddaughter. I'm going to get her something this year.
I do try to remember, sometimes I'm in the middle of the good old days, I think, with the kids. Soon they're going to get a little older, but I'm in the good old days now, like 12, 9, it's not over.
It's good that you recognize that. It's good that you recognize it. How's Walker at swimming?
He doesn't like to.
He doesn't do it. Yeah, there you go. They don't all grow up. Aaron, did you do anything this week?
Hurt myself.
How'd you do that? Sneezing?
Home maintenance.
What were you maintaining?
I was switching out some sink drains.
Okay.
And it requires you to bend at weird angles and use force, and I'm hurting.
Is it like bad, or it's like you need a couple days, or you need a chiropractor?
No, it'll be fine. I just need a couple days.
Next time you need a kitchen sink fixed, call the big dog.
Blair Saki?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cobbler sake. She'll do it. And now it's time for Did We Get Any Notes?
Rolling. Did we get any notes?
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 Kind of. I didn't realize this as we taped last week. La Mesa de Café is not the title, the Spanish title of the coffee table. It's La Mesita del Comedor. La Mesita
I mean, you
del
weren't even
Comedor.
close.
I know. I looked I put the coffee table into translation, and it said La Mesa de Café, but it's La Mesita del Comedor.
You
the
fucking
title
that
of
up
the
is the
movie.
least surprising thing that's happened on this show. The only thing that's less surprising is you deciding that we need to take a break.
I got the coffee table right. People saw it. People have reached out to me to tell me that they enjoyed the coffee table, or that they're going to see the coffee table. Someone told me.
We got a few emails. I didn't put them in email corner because they were just like specific questions about the movie that I didn't think would appeal to most of our listeners. But yeah, a bunch of listeners watched it.
My friend Kumail saw that I'd recommended it, and he reached out and said I should see Sick of Myself. That it seems like a similar vibe, so I will check out Sick of Myself tonight. And that was Did We Get Any Notes?
Rolling. Did we get any notes?
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 And now it's time for
Ad copy.
Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is Liquid Death, Anthony? We've been drinking Liquid Death at the All Things Comedy Studios for years. You often see us on camera drinking it, and it looks like it's a beer or an energy drink. It's not. It's actually a healthy beverage brand. It makes mountain spring water. That's what I drink at the studios.
If you want to drink something out of a tall can, your coolest option is Liquid Death. Everything else, you're a loser.
I didn't realize, though, they also make low-sugar soda. They make low-sugar iced teas. And I guess you're asking, like, why call it Liquid Death? That was a curious move. I mean, a curious thing. Like, when I first picked it up, I was like, oh, this is water. I had no idea. It's because Liquid Death is going to murder your thirst. Your thirst is alive. It's going to murder it.
They're just going to kill it?
It also donates, by the way, a portion of their profits from every can sold to help kill plastic pollution. If plastic pollution is incurred, plastic will outweigh fish in the ocean by 2050. So they're trying to do it right. I crack it open. It's cold. It tastes good. Some bottled water, some canned water, in this case it's a tall can, tastes better than others. You can't really explain why. I tried to explain this to my kids, like, oh, I don't like that type of bottled water. Some taste better than others.
True.
Liquid Death tastes great.
It's great. I go sparkling.
I also just like an aluminum can that's been in the fridge. And All Things Comedy knows to keep it in the fridge. They always are stocking up their fridge with Liquid Death. You can get it free shipping of Liquid Death's mountain water, flavored sparkling, and iced tea 8-packs with Amazon Prime, or grab a can or a case at your local 7-Eleven, Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, or on Instacart. Go to liquiddeath.com/JRVP to check out all their healthy, infinitely recyclable beverages and find your closest retailer. That's liquiddeath.com/JRVP. Liquiddeath.com/JRVP. A rare case where we used the product for years before they sponsored us. How about that? Let's talk about another product Anthony loves to use. That's Hims. He knows his sex life is important, but his schedule's busy. He doesn't have time to go to a doctor's office to get treated for his ED. That's why he's got Hims. You don't have to even leave the house. Sick of the one-size-fits-all method, especially when it comes to your ED treatment? You got options with Hims. Anthony's got options.
Look, I've tried everything. I've tried the rest. Now I'm trying the best. Hims.
Look, they're changing men's healthcare. Again, it's affordable sexual health treatments. It's 95% cheaper than some brand name treatments like Viagra or chewable hard mints is what you can get them in. The process is simple. It's 100% online, no uncomfortable doctor's visits. And look, many men have this problem. You don't necessarily want to advertise it with everyone. Hims makes it really easy to have an online visit, confidential, and they will send you the good stuff and figure out what's best for you. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/JRVP. That's HIMS.com/JRVP for your personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/JRVP. Hard mints are chewable, compounded products which are not approved by or verified for safety or effectiveness by the FDA. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription is required. The price varies based on the product and the subscription plan.
And that was.
Ad copy.
Now it's time to take it down to a place that murders your thirst so hard you don't need an erection. It's Email Corner.
And now it's time to take it down to a place that's never thriving. We have given it water, we've given it air, we've had sex with it repeatedly. It's Email Corner.
Guys, we get emails. JRVP Junior Vice President at gmail.com. You got one more chance for the break to get in something for next week. We do have, we'll have a tournament of champions. The JRVP Listener of the Week. One of our listeners sent us in a bracket and broke down who they all were. I tried to look at it.
It's confusing.
And it's confusing because the order on the list is not the order that there are in the bracket. So next week we'll have Greg print this out, and then we will do the bracket throughout the episode and see who the number one listener of the week, listener of the year is going to be. And maybe we'll just bail on it because we get frustrated. But if
No,
Greg can get through,
you know what? I'll set it up. I have some experience with this. Walker loves a good bracket. He makes his own brackets on this website. I mean, it's very easy, like a makeyourbracket.com type of site. I'll set it up. Maybe we'll even put it up on the YouTube for our fans.
That'd be great. Otherwise, you can send us a farewell message, a bon voyage, if you will. We'll have a heavy email segment next week. JRVP Junior Vice President at gmail.com. We got 3 questions this week. Greg, what do we got?
First one's simple. It's from Anthony Evans. And Anthony in arms here, a comrade. When we die, do you think / hope we will be alone in the universe or be accompanied by others?
I got to think alone. I'm hoping for alone. And if I had to bet, I would be alone. Because, like, listen, whoever you love, no matter what, you would get sick of them in eternity. Maybe if you can, like, travel in eternity and see people for a little bit, like stopping for a weekend, okay. But what I'm hoping for is sleep. I am hoping for uninterrupted sleep. Albert Brooks talked about in the end of his documentary that came out this year or last year that he had a colonoscopy and it was the best sleep he's ever had in his life. They just put him out. And he's hoping that's what death is, just to sleep. Like, if you gave me CPR and I came back to life, I would think I would be like, just give me 10 more minutes. Just give me 10 more minutes and let me catch up. That is my dream. If I die and I'm in a room with everyone I know, I'm going to be pissed. That is hell. What do you think, Greg?
Well, by sleep, do you mean a sleep you never wake up from?
Yes.
Well, I think that's pretty goddamn likely, Anthony.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think you're getting your wish.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't consider that sleep. I consider that death. I would be excited if I got a lot of sleep and I could wake up and then also have some experiences. But I grew up without any religion. So if you're a kid, and a lot more kids do this now, they're not really taught about religion. They don't know shit until they're like older in college or whatever. And when you hear about all the theories of what happens after death, you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, why would anyone think that? It seems insane to me. Now, hopefully they're all right. I'm rooting for that outcome. I want to keep going. I'm going to be holding on for dear life. I want to stay alive.
I can't wait to die. It sounds so nice.
You say that. People say that. And then even the people that say that, a lot of them, once they get close, they're like, shit, I want to stretch this shit out.
Of course. And I'm sure I'll give me 5 more minutes kind of thing, a last minute reprieve. But once I'm just dead, I am thrilled. I am happy. My tombstone will say, finally.
The question's interesting, though, because I just took it as like, of course, it's just nothingness. And yeah, it's sleep. I mean, anything else seems insane, seems preposterous to me. But if it was happening and you had the choice, be alone or be with other people, I'd be good either way. It obviously depends on the people, but I'd be fine alone. Like I enjoy spending time with myself. I think I would take other people though, if I had to choose. I don't know who they are. I mean, they better be people I love. But either way, I think in the long run, I'd take other people. But I'd be cool if it's alone, as long as you get some books and shit.
I could see it being like, you know what? I will take other people. my death has led me to believe that I do need other souls around me. And then the other souls are like, we're good. We don't want that vibe in our eternity. Would be fine by me.
All right, our next question is from a listener that's going to go to your Sydney event. He just bought a ticket, so that's cool. Check out his Australia tour dates. He's taken his long-term partner who likes stand-up, albeit within reason. She doesn't know you. He's asking, should I play it dumb and say, hey, I heard this guy's good, don't know much about him, or should I express my love of his craft ahead of time and show her the abortion soliloquy? For background, I told her that I thought SNL lately has been AIDS, in quote, and she was shocked that I would make fun of such a serious issue. So she's a little sensitive, but she also enjoyed the Chappelle show in Sydney, so she doesn't know which way to go. He also asked me, how did you prepare Emeka for what to expect, or did you let her raw dog it?
I gotta say, I would think the way you set this up, I would let her go in cold. She knows stand up, she understands what's gonna happen, and then I subvert that she might be delighted. I think that the fact that she knows stand up at all, I think you're in for a good time. I wouldn't try to mislead her. I'd be like, this guy's really dark. He writes really dark jokes, but they're smart, and then just hope she gets it. You'll find out something about your relationship and about her, but I wouldn't go in being like, I've never heard of this guy before, because then you're lying to them.
It's weird.
But yeah, going in cold, I think, is fun. You get to just be, surprised along with everyone else.
I think all art is better going in cold.
Mm-hmm.
I, as I've gotten older, go so far out of my way to not read reviews of books or movies, or I don't even like reading the blurbs on the back of the books because it sometimes gives it away, or it makes you even think a certain way. Like, if you're gonna like it, you're gonna like it even more with no information going in. Now, the question that he asked me, how did you prepare Emeka, or did you let her raw dog it? First of all, I don't like that phrasing, anything with Emeka and Anthony raw dogging. Second of all, I didn't have to prepare for shit because she's fucking cool, and I knew she would love it. What do I mean? Why you have to prepare? I mean, this isn't some terrible doctor's visit. I knew she'd like your comedy because I know her and she's cool. Maybe this guy's significant other isn't cool.
Yeah, let us know how the show goes, and if you guys break up or not, because I have broken up couples before.
Finally, this one, I'm making a rare exception for this next email. It's from a listener in Berlin, or no, he took a trip to Berlin. Sorry, I believe he's American. His name is Gallo, and it's a really long email. So I'm gonna read my shortened version of it. It's so long that it's too long to read. He was dumped by his girlfriend, Gallo, of about 5 years. They were together for 5 years, about 6 months ago. She was a big part of this close friend group. They stayed friends. That group decided to take a trip to Germany recently, and they invited them both. And him and his ex-girlfriend decided they could be cool and they'd still go. They all have the same friends. It's the same close group. They thought it'd be cool. During the trip, the following happened. Number one, he saw his ex making out with his friend in a bathroom. Didn't really hang out much then the rest of the trip because he was annoyed by this. And then on the final night of the trip, he realized that those two, his ex-girl and one of his friends, and another married couple that was on the trip, were having a foursome together, which for some reason included Gallo, our friend, seeing the husband carry out his old ex-girlfriend naked from a room in the middle of the night and into a bathroom. After that, Gallo took his ex-girlfriend's phone, which she had left out. He knew her the password, and he then texted to his ex's mom, "Hey, Mom, just had a foursome with my friends, and it was so much fun." He then left in a cab to the airport, hasn't spoken to them again. He asked, did you ever have any friends who burned you for an ex? How would you suggest to move past this, and how would you have handled the situation?
Okay. Gallo, you're wrong. You are the bad guy in this story.
I disagree.
Everyone else is having a good time. You do not. It's not a good idea to go on a vacation with your ex and a bunch of your friends. That's a bad decision. Everyone else has been cool, except for you. She broke up with you. I get it. You're still carrying a torch. You're in Berlin. She's making out with one of your other friends. You should have just left right then. The foursome.
He sort of left, by the way. He said he He just went off on his own for the rest of the trip and didn't really hang out much, but he was still sleeping in the
you were not emotionally prepared to take a vacation with your ex. Your ex is having a great time. Your friends are having a great time. A foursome, like, you should be applauding her. Maybe annoyed you're left out, but like, you are the not cool person here. Everyone else is having a great time, having orgies in Berlin, and you are the wet blanket. I'm sorry this is that your girlfriend dumped you, but it sounds like it was for the best, and she is having a great time. I think that the text you sent was a bad idea, but also, like, if you sent my mom a text saying just had a foursome, it was so fun, they wouldn't know what the fuck you were talking about. So it's not like you sent a picture of the daughter of your ex, like, sleeping with someone. I think you have to just take the L and never talk to these people again. They will never forgive you for this or think you were cool. Find a new friend group and then tell this story as you being the one who had the foursome. And then you'll have cool friends.
Damn, man, you're making it hard on our guy.
I mean, he knew by emailing in that I would be harsh but fair. But again, I'm team ex-girlfriend and friends who are having a great time and having an orgy over, like, what did you want? To, like, sit and talk about your relationship? To have everyone just, like, sit around talking about how much fun Berlin would have been if they were still together? Like, you are the wet blanket. Don't be a wet blanket.
It's a tough spot. Going there was obviously a bad idea.
Yeah, it's literally a drug and club scene there.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone knows when you go to Berlin, like, have a foursome. That's what Berlin is for.
I mean, you're in Berlin, you're getting peed on, and you're having a foursome. Those are the two things that are going to happen to you if you go out at night in Berlin.
Right. You want to fit in. It's like when in Rome, when in Berlin, you have that foursome. It was a bad sign. It sounded like now in hindsight, he kind of realized, like, when they broke up, even though he's the one who introduced her to this friend group, it had been 5 years they were together, and that, like, the friends didn't want to give her up, and maybe he now realizes, like, they were closer to her than he was. The math, though, doesn't work out. You were together for 5 years. You'd only been broken up for 6 months. She's the one that did the breaking up. I just can't imagine thinking I was cool enough. Even if, like, my heart's not broken, it's just like, why would I want to be going on a trip with this girl? What could possibly make me want to go? I don't give a shit.
And I
about
guarantee your friends
Berlin.
were, like, bummed. Like, oh, Gallo's coming too. We assumed he wouldn't. We were going to have four ways the whole time. But now he's coming. Like, you lost your girlfriend to your friend group. It's okay. It's not ideal, but it happens. Take the L and move on with your life. Take it.
There were some interesting details, too, that stick in my head that he heard. Like, so that the night where the husband is carrying his ex naked out of the room, like, he realized something was going on because he just heard shit going on. He got back, like, late at night, like at 1 or 2 in the morning, and he was going to go the next day, but he was just fucking sitting up. And he heard whatever the other couple is out of this foursome, he heard the guy, the girl yell at the other guy in the situation what a fat ass he has. I don't know why that just made me laugh.
It took you longer to tell that story than it would have to have read the email 5 times over. And that was Email Corner. Diamonds, unite.
And that was Email Corner. And that was Email Corner. Be a thing.
And now it's time for...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Ad copy.
That's right. We got a couple ad copies here. Everyone wants in before we peace out for a little bit, including AG1. All I need to tell you about AG1 is that it's important to me because it's the highest quality in terms of the supplements that they have. We've been drinking it for years. Unlike many supplements, AG1 is constantly searching for how to do things better. Their relentless testing sets the standard for purity and potency. All you really need to know is that when I start running low on AG1, it's a 5-alarm fire in our house. Emika wants some. I want some. I complain about it on the podcast. Then someone at All Things Comedy gets some sent to me. Then Anthony brings me some. And now I'm swimming in it, and we're happy. Doesn't matter what else is happening in life. If we got AG1, we're rolling.
You can take your vitamins on an empty stomach with AG1. That's how I sell it.
They obsess over product quality, the standards of manufacturing, partners, and sustainable practices. It shouldn't be complicated to take care of your supplements. AG1 simplifies this. by covering all your nutritional bases, setting you up for success in just 60 seconds. You know what it is. It's a scoop of AG1 mixed in water every single day. It can help you out with some vitamin C and zinc to support your immune health. We've partnered with AG1 for so long because they make such a high-quality product that we genuinely look forward to drinking it every day. So if you want to replace your multivitamin and more, start with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first subscription. It's at drinkag1.com/JRVP. This is the key part. drinkag1.com/JRVP. Check it out. You know what else you got to check out, Anthony? ASPCA pet insurance. You are now, I would say, closer with Rummy, unfortunately, than you are with me.
Yes.
That's how much you love Rummy.
That's a fact. Because Rummy only cares about me, whereas you've got other people in your life that care about you more than I care about you. Rummy and me are ride or die, and I would do anything to prolong my dog's life as much as possible. I want his teeth to be healthy. I want his bowel movements to be healthy. I want his food to be nutritious. I want him taken care of by the best without breaking out my wallet.
So today's episode is sponsored by the ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program, and we're coming up on the summer. For many pet parents, summer's all about making travel plans, like going through national parks and visiting pet-friendly beaches, and wherever your journeys take you and your friend, your furry friend in this case, it can help protect them along the way with a plan from ASPCA Pet Health Insurance. The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program offers customizable accident and illness plans, making it easier for pet parents like you to help your pet get the care they may need. That's ASPCA Pet Health Insurance. It's been around for over 18 years. They've helped more than 600,000 pets during that time. They allow you to customize your plan, helping ensure that your pet's plan is as unique as they are, because vet bills can really add up, especially when you're least expecting it. It's simple. Use the app to submit a claim. You'll receive reimbursement for eligible vet bills directly into your bank account. To explore coverage, visit ASPCApetinsurance.com/JRVP. Again, that's ASPCApetinsurance.com/JRVP. ASPCApetinsurance.com/JRVP. This is a paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independence American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by PTZ Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and is not engaged in the business of insurance.
And that was
Ad copy.
Aaron.
Yeah,
Let's get to headlines.
let's do it.
Oh yeah, let's get to headlines.
Let's get to the
Yeah, I'm excited for these headlines. Oh yeah, headlines.
Let's get to them.
Got a little too sloppy on
Oh
time.
yeah.
Love it.
First headline is about Emily Nash. You don't know who Emily Nash is? She's from Ottawa, Canada. She's one of 100 people in the world with a rare condition. She can remember the day she was born.
That's so amazing. No, you cannot. You're wrong.
I have met one of the other 100 people.
Oh,
Listen,
come on.
I don't believe them. Like, I've heard of someone saying, yes, I remember the day I was born. Oh, yeah? What do you remember? Tell me what you remember that makes you so confident. Oh, it was a hospital. Everything was white. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no.
You're making it up. And if you did, if you were one of the 100 people who can remember the day they were born, your childhood fucking sucked. Your childhood fucking sucked every day until you were about 6. There's a reason you don't remember things from when you're a little kid, because it's boring.
Yeah.
That I think your life sounds like pure hell, and you're a liar. And why are you telling people about this? Because it doesn't make any sense. It's not true. Like, ooh, it was all hot and wet, and all of a sudden, bright light.
Well, I believe that some, if not most of these people claiming this, believe that they remember it.
Sure.
They just, I'm with you. I don't
That's
believe
fine.
that
Yes.
it's true.
Yeah, I believe you believe.
You can remember a lot of things that aren't true. People believe in a lot of things that aren't true. There's a little message for you.
I mean, my parents have told me about the day I was born and what the hospital was like and everything and what the doctors were like and the nurses and everything. And so I could see how I could be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember. But you don't. No one does.
So wait, Aaron, you said you had someone you
there's
knew
no
someone?
benefit. There's no benefit to this.
Yeah, there's no benefit. And your eyesight's and hearing is so bad. Like, what's the point of remembering that you saw blobs of light and heard like you were in a fishbowl?
Wait, you said you know one of the 100 people, Aaron?
I've met Mary Lou Henner, who has this as well.
No, she claims it. Okay, so there is an actual medical, I don't know what you would call it. It's called highly superior autobiographical memory, or HSAM. And this can be tested, and it is the ability to accurately recall an exceptional number of experiences and their associated dates from events occurring throughout much of one's lifetime. Now, that sort of stuff where people can remember a lot, like, it can be proven that some people really can do that, but you can't really prove that you remembered your birth.
Let me give you another name for what you just described. Imagination. You imagined what it was like when you were born, and now you're like, oh, I remember. Get the fuck out of here. And even if you're right and you can do this, there is no benefit.
No.
Well, I don't think they are claiming actually there's any benefit. She says that she can almost shuffle up like the times in her life, like circle back almost like a VCR and just like relive it, almost like it just happened 3 seconds ago. And her parents, they nicknamed her Wikipedia because she can just always remember everything at any time, and that it's like organized as a calendar that she can fast forward and replay. And all that's fine, but when they ask her what she remembers about the day she was born, she says that she felt intense curiosity of what was going on.
I'll tell you this, Wikipedia is a bad nickname. It's too long.
Yeah.
Wiki,
Actually, I think it was Wiki. It was
Wiki's
Wiki.
fine.
It was Wiki.
Wikipedia, it's too much. And again, like, what does she do? Like, if you were like, I'm going to read all the chess books and I'll be the best chess player in the world, like, okay, then great. But if you have a photographic memory, it's only good for like bragging rights. You don't need it.
They said it is sometimes associated with autism, being able to remember a lot of facts and just things that have happened, like a photographic memory. But that's not really the same as what we're talking about here. Like,
Yeah, I don't think it applies to facts and figures the way that it just applies to yourself.
to
and
experiences. For instance, Sean McVay, the coach of the Rams, he does this, what amounts to a parlor trick, and it is pretty amazing. You can ask him for any play call, any play of basically any game he's ever coached, and they've tried this. Like, you can go, hey, 2017, week 4, there's 4:55 left. It's like 2nd and 12. Like, what's the play? And he can remember everything that happened on the play, which is pretty fucking incredible. But doesn't mean you can remember when you're like a board.
It means you're a good football coach. But tell me what the weather was like on the day you were born. I bet you can't, Sean. I bet you can't.
After the podcast, I asked Mary Lou Henner if she'd ever used her skills at bar trivia. And she looked at me like I was insane. And then years later, I come to realize she's a fucking star. She would have been on Jeopardy, not fucking the local pub trivia.
You're a fucking idiot, Aaron.
I am a fucking idiot.
This is why I'm leaving.
Remember to send in your headlines, by the way, for the next week's episode, JRVP, juniorvicepresident@gmail.com. The headlines, a little thin this week. 38 people taken to the hospital last week in Germany after lightning strikes hit a children's camp. Anthony, your dreams came true.
This is pretty great. I mean, I would have loved to have been there. It would have been worth getting hit by lightning just to see those little kids get hit by lightning. I think in movies and stuff, if you get hit by lightning, it means God's mad at you. I think that's the case here. I don't know what these kids were doing that was devilish. Maybe there was a little 666 going on. I don't know. Pentagram. They were jumping around in the shape of a pentagram. Who knows? They got what they deserved. I wonder if the poor bastard who watched his girlfriend have a foursome was walking by. Watch those kids get hit by lightning. This is great. There were no deaths, I assume.
Yeah, everyone was fine, really, in the end.
38 people taken to the hospital after lightning strikes children. Like, do you remember the movie, what's the movie that Steven Soderbergh did about oil? Matt Damon's in it. George Clooney's in it. George Clooney won an Oscar. Syriana. There's a part where Matt Damon's kid jumps in the pool and gets electrocuted. It's at a party.
Oh yeah.
And all the kids are like, what's happening? And then Matt Damon runs and just doesn't think, just jumps in the pool. And right as he's in the air, someone flips a switch off. So Matt Damon doesn't get electrocuted. And I'm like, that's such a bullshit move. Either let Matt Damon get electrocuted trying to save his son, or don't electrocute the kid. But to have Matt Damon be like, I'm selfless, and then someone saves him, it's like, no. It's like, no. So if I was walking by and saw kids get hit by lightning, I'm letting it go. I might go up and count the kids, but that's the most I'm going to do.
The camp they were at, they were all sleeping over at a youth Pentecost camp. I don't even know what that is. But to that I say, it's like, no.
It was probably Hitler Youth, and that's why they got hit by lightning.
Wait, what is a Pentecost camp? What is that?
Pentecostal, it's a religion.
It's like a religious camp.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you get 500 youngsters.
In the U.S., the Pentecostals are the snake handlers.
And 200 adults were at the site. I get a little nervous, yes, that many people training the future youth in Germany. Maybe it was God.
In America, we handle snakes, but in Germany, they get struck by lightning. That's their thing.
Everyone apparently was just complaining because it happened while they were sleeping, I believe. And everyone just like woke up and was complaining of like their arms were all tingling. The electricity like ran through everyone.
These people are all going to be priests now. Like I would think that God was speaking. If I was asleep at a Pentecostal camp and I woke up with my fingers tingly, I'd be like, either we all got hit by lightning or we're going straight to heaven when we die. Straight to heaven to see Anthony.
Our next story falls into the category of like an unforced error, I would say. We've had a few of these on the show. Job interviews, like don't give too much information. This is about a Florida man who was applying for a police job, and he voluntarily mentioned in a pre-test application to playing, quote, sexual games when asked about anything, if he's done anything questionable in the past. So they followed up in the actual interview about it, and the guy told the police how he was sexually abusing his cousin when he was 19 years old, and the victim was 14. And they immediately arrested him, and now he potentially faces life in prison.
I love it. I love an unforced error. I think that if we were allowed to see applications to the police department, I think it could be a TV show of people who should not be police trying to be police. I remember I knew a cop, one of my friends when I was growing up, his dad was the sheriff, and he would tell us stories of people who applied to get in and would sue because they didn't get in. And it was like, it was easy. One guy sued. He didn't pass the written test, and he sued. And the sheriff went to the court and just circled all the words he misspelled on the test and handed that into the judge. And they're like, all right, get out of here. So this guy coming in and being like, honesty is the best policy. They're going to respect me if I talk about molesting my cousin when I was younger is so funny to me. I got to think that I wonder if the cops were like, should we just put him through anyway? I mean, we need somebody to fill this badge. Maybe he's not so bad. At least he's honest.
Right. He, wasn't really showing great like cunning or judgment because so I guess he used the phrase played some sexual games when anything questionable passed. Okay, so you wrote that down. You probably forgot about it. Then you're face to face with the cop, and they're like, "Tell us about these sexual games you were talking about." And at that point, all he has to do is say nothing or realize this is troubling. And he has a great career as a police officer. But instead, he talked about sleeping with his cousin. I'm sure he didn't use the word sexual abuse, but when he mentioned it and the age of the cousin, then they investigated it, and then that's what happened.
All right, Greg, I'm your friend. You haven't seen me in a couple of days. I was applying to be a police officer.
Okay. Hey, how'd that interview go with the police? It was exciting.
Not good. Not good. They brought up some old stuff. Apparently you can't be a cop and sexually abuse your cousin, which I did and told them about.
Wait, you sexually abused your cousin?
Yeah, for a lot of years. And I thought it was behind me, but Brought it up in the interview, and now I'm going to jail instead of being a cop.
And why did you think that would be a good idea to bring it up?
I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to be a cop. I should have just sexually molested my cousin, and I wouldn't be in jail.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, yeah, he was 19, she was 14. I think it was really the age difference and the fact that they're cousins, and the fact that it was sexual abuse. It was all bad, and he did not need to do that. And I'm glad that he did, though, and he's going away.
Listen, if you sexually abuse someone, which we are not saying you should do, but if you have done it, leave it off your resume. If you got to explain a gap, that's better than explaining that you sexually molested your 14-year-old cousin. Trust me. You all be cops.
Last headline.
I like that.
I do, too. Was that longer than last week?
Same length as last
Same
week,
length.
but twice as long as the first time.
I want it like every week just to get a little bit longer.
We wrap up with a revolting dentistry story involving a woman who was getting work done on a rotting tooth. She was in an incredible amount of pain, and they had to do surgery on this tooth. And during the procedure, they realized the pain was caused by 150 maggots living inside her mouth that the dentist had to remove.
Yeah, that's tough. I think she's being a prima donna. I feel like the benefit of having 150 maggots in your mouth.
They were very precise. They kept saying 150. Yes.
If it's 150 maggots, they're gonna fly out of there. You don't have to do anything. Just leave your mouth open, and they'll eventually turn into flies and leave your mouth.
I think it's like inside the tooth, though.
Yeah, but they got to grow up sometime. They grow up and they fly out. You just like and then the zzz.
So that's all you had to do.
That's all you had to do. Aaron, right?
We do have a picture.
What's up?
Aaron, we do. These are the actual maggots. If you want to check it
It's
out
not in focus.
on YouTube, that was the picture that was provided
Yeah, I think they're censored.
on the website. What they're censored? What are you talking?
Like they were on a newscast and they censored them.
Protecting their
Why would
identity.
they censor the maggots?
They're
'Cause
minors.
It's gross.
It's 150. They put them in some water, and that's legitimately the picture.
Here's me at the dentist's office after you've pulled all the maggots out of my mouth. How many? Count them.
150.
Count them again. Make sure. This is important. Yeah, you fire your dentist. Because you're doing something wrong if you got 150 maggots in your mouth. You're not flossing or you're not rinsing, but something's wrong. Don't tell me you brush twice a day. Do you know you're supposed to brush your teeth and then leave the toothpaste on your teeth?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to rinse your mouth out. You're supposed to brush your teeth.
Well, I know you're not.
Spit
Leave
and then
fluoride on
and then leave the fluoride in your teeth, which no one does.
Yeah.
I would never do that. It is disgusting. I'd rather have the maggots than leave the toothpaste in my mouth. Whatever you eat next is going to be bad. It's guaranteed.
Well, I don't eat it. I didn't know until maybe 5 years ago. Yeah, you're not supposed to do the mouthwash right after because of the same reason.
I didn't know that.
You're not supposed to.
I don't really do mouthwash.
Fucks up the mouthwash. Yeah, industry as a whole. I leave it. I don't rinse. I like getting all grimy in there.
And now it's time for
Choo-choo!
recommendation station. Greg, what else can you recommend?
You know what I was shocked by email-wise? We got so many emails. Probably like half the emails were on the topic of like, I really want you guys to keep recommending stuff when you guys are gone. I get you guys are book influencers. I get my books off of you guys. It was a really hearty section of our fan base that was asking, like, I don't know, keep telling us what books you recommend because we need that. So you can follow me on Goodreads if you want my books that I'm reading in the meantime. But I just wanted to tell you that because you were questioning whether people like this.
Maybe I'll Instagram what books I'm
Right.
reading.
That's what I was thinking. I'll try to get it somewhere on social, but I am on Goodreads. Follow me there. I'm going to recommend a short story collection. It's called Friday Black. I brought it in just in case the big dog wants to borrow it.
I've read it.
Oh, you have? Shit. Okay. Well, it's by his guy, Nana Kwame Adejbrenya, who wrote one of Anthony's favorite books of last year. Chain Gang All-Stars. And I really liked it a lot, too. And the short stories were a perfect way to sort of understand like where he's coming from in terms of his mind, and it totally makes sense that the next book he wrote was Chain Gang All-Stars. A couple of these short stories are just absolutely stunning, I thought. Like, it's a short story collection. You're not going to love every single one, but there's about 3 of them, including especially the first one, which is called the Finkelstein 5, which is pretty unforgettable, which is just like one of the most badass short stories I've ever read. So when I read a short story collection, which to me, I love a novel, but you just want those 3 or 4 that maybe really hit, and you can tell how young and talented he was when he wrote this. It's about 6 years old now, but it's worth it. Zimmerland was another banger. The title story, Friday Black, was awesome. So some of them didn't hit as hard, and some of them were amazing, and it totally makes sense to me that George Saunders was one of his biggest champions and his teacher in college, because I could see just like they sort of think in some of the same ways. So Friday Black, it's a short story collection by Nana Kwame Adejbrenya.
It's a great one. Aaron, you got anything you want to recommend this week?
I'm reading the original novel for Planet of the Apes by Pierre Boulle.
How is it?
It's good.
You're not allowed to recommend till you finish it, though, because like then you might change your mind.
It takes me a while to finich stuff, so here you go.
Right, because there's one I'm loving right now, but I'm like 30 pages left, and I just thought JRVP rules. I can't recommend it. I'll have to wait a week.
We have been burned. I have recommended something and then finished it and been like, ooh, I probably wouldn't have recommended that. But my recommendation this week is a book I read about a month ago. It's newer. It's called Victim by Andrew Boryga, BorYga. It's about the main character is someone who starts to identify as a victim and starts benefiting from it until they kind of fall off a cliff. And think about people complain about diversity hiring and things like that. Someone gets in as a journalist and starts kind of using their victimhood to sell themselves. And it's kind of like everyone's biggest fear when they talk about we need to have diversity. They're like, oh, people are just going to use it for their own advantage. And it's why that is not a good idea if you were able to do that. I thought it handled it very well and was a good book in this time of everyone complaining about cancel culture. Like, read Victim by Andrew Boryga, and I think it gives you a good idea of why that's not always a benefit. I'm not saying that diversity is bad. I'm saying that people are like afraid that it'll be used for the wrong purposes, and this is someone who uses it for the wrong purposes and pays for it.
It's nonfiction or it's fiction?
It's fiction.
Huh.
It's fiction. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. It was very smartly written and smartly done. And that was
Choo-choo.
Recommendation Station. One more episode left to go, but Debbie, get me out of here in this one.
Whoa, Nelly Furtado. That's a spicy meatball. Is that okay, Greggy?